it.
What is that?
Bigfoot sightings often appear in remote places where witnesses have only seconds to react. One hiker filmed a dark figure moving through thick brush, while another group found a massive footprint near a river. What left these traces behind? This unusually clear Bigfoot video reportedly comes from Ohio and was recorded on April 9, 2026. The footage was captured by a man canoeing on a lake he regularly visited. He had never experienced anything unusual there before. However, while paddling through a narrow section near a wooded area, he noticed a dark figure moving through the trees. The hunched primate-like shape walked through the forest in the opposite direction from the witness. Its body appeared extremely dark and covered in long fur, making it clearly visible against the surroundings. After recording the brief encounter, the canoeist stopped filming, paddled away, and returned home without knowing what he had seen. The main debate surrounding the clip is whether it was created with artificial intelligence. Some viewers believe its short length and unusually clear quality make it suspicious, while others think the figure looks realistic. Its walking pattern has also drawn attention. The legs appear to rise higher than normal, while the arms swing widely with each step. Similar exaggerated movements are often described in Bigfoot reports because the creatures are believed to be large and powerful. The motion has been compared to the figure in the Patterson-Gimlin film, which also shows a strong arm swing and a distinct two-legged gait. Whether this newer footage is genuine remains uncertain. Still, it offers a clear example of how a Bigfoot-like creature might appear in high-definition video, leaving viewers to decide what was really moving through those Ohio woods. This unusually clear close-up photograph, believed to show Bigfoot's face, has circulated online for several years, but has received limited attention. Since its release, researchers and viewers have examined the image closely. Many consider it one of the clearest alleged Sasquatch photographs available, although its origin remains unknown. The picture was posted anonymously. When enlarged, it appears to show an extremely detailed face with a realistic mix of human and ape-like features. The figure seems intelligent, and some viewers believe another creature may be standing beside it, partly visible through the surrounding hair. Because the image is so sharp, supporters argue that creating a convincing fake would have required advanced makeup or careful digital work. Bigfoot researcher Todd Standing did not take the photograph, but he later analyzed it.
One thing I'm gonna state quite clearly is I do not believe this is AI. This looks like a very potentially legitimate photograph of a Sasquatch. The possibilities that I'm looking at here, this is a human being with makeup because it looks extremely organic. Proportions, they've been argued, are not human.
He said the image did not appear to be generated by artificial intelligence. In his view, it could show a real Sasquatch or a person wearing exceptionally realistic makeup. He also noted that the face looks organic and that some of its proportions may not match those of a normal human. The image may be impressive, but its missing background information remains a major problem. There is no confirmed date, location, or identified photographer. Those details are important when examining evidence like this. Until more information becomes available, the photograph will remain one of the clearest, yet most mysterious images connected to Bigfoot. New Bigfoot footage was reportedly recorded on June 12, 2026, at Naka-Mixon State Park in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. The witness was hiking through the park in the middle of the day with clear visibility across the surrounding area. While breathing heavily, the hiker zoomed in on a dark, upright figure moving through thick vegetation. The creature had a primate-like build and traveled quickly between the trees. At the beginning of the clip, it appears to use its arms to push away from something before continuing forward with strong steps and wide arm swings. It then passes behind the brush and disappears from view. The footage divided viewers. Some believe the figure looks unnatural and could be AI CGI or someone in a costume, Others point to its realistic movement and the raw video's 25-second length, which is longer than many AI-generated clips. The clip does not prove what was moving through the park, but it leaves several possibilities open. Does the figure look like an unknown creature, or is it simply a convincing digital effect or carefully made disguise? This video was recorded by a group of hikers who came across something they could not explain. While moving through the area, they noticed a large, dark figure sitting high in a tree, but none of them could identify what it was. The footage appeared long before AI-generated videos became common.
I think his face is the other way.
Oh no. I see an ape.
Yeah, it does look like a monkey. We'll have good video, Karen.
At first, the hikers considered ordinary animals such as a bear or porcupine. As they continued filming and found a better angle, however, the shape began to look more like an ape or monkey. Their reactions suggest they were genuinely confused by what they were seeing. Near the end of the recording, the figure looks almost like a Sasquatch, perched among the branches without moving. Some viewers argued that the subject remains too still to be considered a creature. However, the hikers were watching it directly and seemed certain that it was alive. They were also close enough that a familiar animal should have been easier to recognize.
I'm gonna go climb the tree. Okay?
That could have been worse than a bear for parking. Yeah.
This uncertainty led some viewers to suggest that the figure might be an unidentified creature, possibly a Bigfoot. The hikers repeatedly compared it to a monkey, even though the encounter was believed to have taken place somewhere in North America, where wild monkeys are not naturally found. After filming for some time, the group ended the recording. They apparently left soon afterward without approaching the tree or attempting to investigate further, allowing whatever was there to remain undisturbed. Keeping their distance was likely the safest decision. Moving closer to an unknown wild animal could provoke a defensive response or attack. Even if the figure was only a bear, porcupine, or another known animal approaching it, would still have carried unnecessary risk. The strange shape, dark body, and position in the tree make the sighting difficult to explain. Its lack of movement prevents a firm identification, but its appearance does not clearly match the animals first considered by the hikers. Could this have been a young Bigfoot hiding among the branches, or simply a familiar animal seen from a misleading angle? The video offers no certain answer, leaving the figure's identity open to debate. A reported Bigfoot body may represent one of the biggest breakthroughs ever connected to the mystery. For years, one of the strongest arguments against Bigfoot has been the absence of a body DNA or other physical proof. According to a man known online as Snake the Bigfoot Hunter, that may have changed.
Does Bigfoot really exist? Well, now there is a man called Snake. He has this 8-foot, 300-pound body in his possession. He's even nicknamed it Dak. Snake even put them on display at last year's Great New York State Fair.
The man, whose real name is Charles Stewart, claims he discovered the remains of a Bigfoot-like creature in the Adirondack Mountains in 2024. He says the body measures about 8 feet tall and weighs nearly 300 pounds. Stewart later gave the specimen the nickname Dak and displayed it at the Great New York State Fair. The most important claim involves DNA testing. Stewart says samples from the body were submitted to a laboratory connected with Cornell University. According to the results he shared, the specimen contained 58.5% Neanderthal and Denisovan DNA, along with 41.5% human DNA. If accurate, that combination could suggest an unknown human relative or hybrid. Stewart says several materials were tested, including blood, hair, and fecal matter. He also claims the body was examined by members of the Six Nations Bigfoot researchers, Japanese scientists, and news organizations. The remains were later preserved through taxidermy.
A friend of mine who worked at the Cornell Veterinarian BioDNA Lab, as you mentioned, 58.5% Neanderthal / Denisovan. The Denisovan is a Asian kind of Neanderthal. It's mixed with 41.5% human, and some of that's indigenous.
He says he found the body in a patch of poison ivy after detecting the smell of decay. Based on its condition, he believed the creature had been dead for about 2 days. Large footprints were reportedly discovered beside the remains.
The reason I found it was just being in the right area where I could smell it, because this body was decaying. There's this 8-foot long, 300-pound specimen in front of me, and this thing, and based on what we figured out, this was dead probably about 2 days. When we had next to this body were some larger footprints. We determined that One of the causes of this specimen's death was probably from getting bludgeoned to death by a larger.
After speaking with other researchers, Stewart developed another theory about the death. He believes the creature may have been struck and killed by a larger Bigfoot. The reported injuries and larger tracks near the body were used to support that possibility. The case has since received attention from several mainstream news outlets, including Newsmax.
The reason we actually have this body, I believe, and I have been able to show it, is that until we were able to get in front of a lot of people, we were afraid that that body would disappear, or that I would disappear, to be honest with you.
Stewart says he delayed publicly revealing the specimen because he feared the body might disappear before it could be shown to enough people. Despite the attention, he says getting more experts involved has been difficult because Bigfoot remains a controversial subject. He compares the reaction to earlier attitudes toward UFO reports, which were often treated as folklore before official government documents became public. The DNA claims and physical remains make this case unusual, but independent laboratory records and further testing would still be needed. Could Dak be the discovery Bigfoot researchers have waited for, or will closer examination reveal a more ordinary explanation? Another unusually clear set of images has attracted attention, because it appears to show the face of a Bigfoot-like creature at close range. The case includes two photographs taken moments apart. The first captures the figure from farther away, partly hidden behind brush. The second shows it closer with fewer branches blocking the view. Both images are believed to have come from a trail camera in the woods. In the photos, the creature has a face that many viewers compare to a Sasquatch. The second image may have been digitally enlarged, making the details easier to examine. However, one feature has raised questions. A strange line seems to run across the upper lip, giving the mouth an unusual and possibly unnatural appearance. The images were reportedly taken in Washington state, according to a Facebook uploader known as the Bigfoot Expert. No exact location or region was shared, so the camera's position remains unknown. Some viewers believe the mouth could look strange because of the camera angle or a physical deformity. Others think the detail makes the image suspicious. Aside from that feature, the face hair and overall appearance looks surprisingly realistic. The figure also seems to be staring directly into the camera with an angry expression, as though it had noticed the hidden device. Washington state has long been linked to many reported Bigfoot sightings, making the case more interesting. Still, a clear picture is not the same as clear proof. Could the unusual mouth be natural, or does it suggest the photos are not what they seem? A Bigfoot research team may have discovered one of the more convincing footprints found in recent years, but the case received little attention. Pacific Northwest Bigfoot Search, also known as PNW Bigfoot, reported the discovery after 5 years of research and repeated expeditions into areas linked to Sasquatch activity. On April 26, 2025, the team was conducting fieldwork along the Little White Salmon River in Gifford-Pinchot National Forest. Near the riverbank, they found what they believed could be a genuine Sasquatch footprint. Fresh elk signs were also nearby, suggesting the creature may have been following or hunting an elk. The researchers made a cast and measured the track at 13.5 inches long and 7 inches wide. During the next 24 hours, they compared it with known bear and human footprints, but concluded that it did not closely match either one. The track remains difficult to explain because of its size, shape, location, and nearby elk signs. However, only photos of the cast were shared. Images of the original print could have revealed its depth and surrounding details. A cast preserves the shape, but untouched ground may hold more clues. Was this evidence of an unknown creature, or is there a simpler explanation? Moving away from the recent Bigfoot body evidence, this newly posted clip shows another unusual sighting. The video was uploaded on July 8, 2026. A family was driving along a heavily wooded road when the children suddenly noticed something they could not explain. Their frightened reaction caused the driver to turn the vehicle around and return to the same area.
He's moving. See that? You know that tree?
Oh, there's across the road. Where's it?
As the family traveled down the road again, the parents treated the situation casually and did not seem to expect anything unusual. Then, through an opening between the trees, a dark figure briefly appeared. The figure seemed tall, upright, and human-like, giving it the general shape often linked to Bigfoot. However, the sighting lasted only a moment, making it difficult to study clearly. Some viewers suggested that the object could have been a statue placed near the road to frighten passing drivers. That explanation remains possible, but slowed footage appears to show movement. The figure's arm seems to lower slightly as the vehicle passes. If that movement is genuine, it would weaken the statue theory. The clip quickly went viral and had reached about 18.5 million views. Many viewers remain skeptical because the figure is visible for such a short time. Others believe the children's reactions sound natural and that the figure looks surprisingly lifelike. For now, the encounter remains unexplained unless more information appears. A quick glimpse can easily confuse the eye, but the possible arm movement makes this harder to dismiss. Was it really moving, or did the camera angle create the illusion? This next case takes us back to Ohio, a state often connected to reported Bigfoot activity. The segment includes two separate pieces of evidence: thermal footage and unusual vocalizations believed by some to be connected to a Sasquatch. The material was recently featured by Rocky Mountain Sasquatch, a group that investigates Bigfoot reports. It was submitted by Sean Gilligan and reportedly came from Bainbridge, Ohio.
Highland Bigfoot footage on thermal camera, purported near Bainbridge. Sean Gilligan writes RMSO. My friend sent me a thermal video his brother got a couple of weeks ago near.
According to the information provided, Gilligan received the thermal footage from a friend whose brother had recorded it a few weeks earlier. The video shows a distant upright figure with a human-like shape moving within the thermal camera's view. Dogs nearby appear disturbed by its presence and bark repeatedly while the figure remains in the area. Some viewers believe the shape looks too human and may simply be a person standing outside. Others think its size and appearance could match a Bigfoot-like creature, especially when considered alongside strange sounds recorded in the same location. The enhanced audio contains long, deep howls that continue for several minutes. The sounds are loud, low, and unlike the normal calls commonly heard from animals in Ohio forests. At several points, coyotes can also be heard howling and barking in response. Their reactions suggest that the sounds were occurring nearby when the recording was made rather than being added later. Something was clearly producing the calls, but its identity remains unknown. Some believe the thermal figure and vocalizations support claims that unknown creatures may be moving through Bainbridge. Ohio has become one of the most frequently discussed areas for recent Bigfoot reports, with new footage and recordings continuing to appear. Thermal cameras can hide important details, while distant animal calls can sound unfamiliar. Do these two recordings support each other, or are they separate events with ordinary causes? On July 3, 2026, unusually clear trail camera photos were released, reportedly showing a Bigfoot-like creature in remote southwestern Washington state. The high-quality camera captured two images of the same figure. Its face does not look fully human or completely ape-like, and it also differs from many common descriptions of Bigfoot. In the first image, the creature appears slightly farther away with its head lowered and turned from the camera as though it had not noticed the device. The second photo shows it looking directly into the lens, giving a much clearer view of its features. It has small human-like eyes, an unusually large nose, straight lips, and rough lighter-colored skin. Thick, coarse hair surrounds the face and forms what almost looks like a mane. The mix of features gives the figure a strange appearance, almost like an ape, a lion, and a human combined. Its expression also seems wild and predatory. Washington state is one of the most famous locations connected to Bigfoot reports. Many sightings have come from the Cascade Mountains, the Olympic Peninsula, and the dense forests around Mount St. Helens and Mount Rainier. The vast wilderness has long supported the idea that an unknown animal could remain hidden there. The photos reveal unusual details, but they still do not confirm what the creature is. Do they show something unknown, or is there another explanation for its strange face? Another realistic Bigfoot video comes from Alberta, Canada, an area known for Sasquatch reports. The exact date is unknown, but the footage appears to be many years old and has received little attention. A group of hunters was searching for elk when they spotted a large herd moving through the area. One hunter began recording, unaware that the camera may have captured something unusual behind them. At normal speed, the figure is easy to miss. When the footage is slowed and enlarged, a large shape can be seen near the tree line as the elk pass. The figure appears tall, upright, and light brown with broad shoulders and a rounded head. These features are often linked to Sasquatch sightings. Because the video was filmed from far away with an older camera, the image is unclear. The person recording was focused on the elk and was not prepared to capture anything else. Adult male elk can reach about 5 feet at the shoulder, yet the figure appears much taller. If the scale is accurate, it would have been extremely large. The hunters may have missed it because they were watching the herd. The figure may have approached because of the elk without noticing the people farther away. Distance can distort size, but the figure still appears unusually tall. Was something watching the herd, or did the trees create a human-like shape? This unusual footage appears to show a tall, completely black humanoid figure from only a few feet away. Its exact origin remains unknown. According to the available information, a hunter was moving through a dense forest when he came across the unidentified figure at close range. The country and exact location were never revealed. However, the hunter speaks a language other than English, suggesting the video was recorded outside the United States. The figure appears extremely tall and completely black, with eyes that seem to shine toward the camera. Although the surrounding forest is bright, its body remains so dark that almost no clear features can be identified. Some viewers believe it could be Bigfoot, while others compare it to humanoid creatures from legends found in different parts of the world. Without a confirmed location, it is impossible to connect the figure to one specific legend. Its strange appearance may depend on the camera lighting or distance, but the hunter was standing unusually close. The darkness hides many important details, yet the figure's height and glowing eyes remain difficult to ignore. Was this an unknown creature, or something ordinary that the camera made look far more disturbing? 2 mysterious photographs recently appeared showing an older man with Bigfoot-like creatures outside a cabin. In one image, he holds what appears to be a baby Sasquatch. In the other, he poses beside a much larger adult. The faded colors suggest the photos may be old, although their exact date is unknown. According to the story, the unidentified man lived alone deep in a North American forest many miles from other people. Over time, he supposedly gained the trust of a hidden Sasquatch group living nearby. The creatures eventually accepted him, allowing the man to take photographs with them as a way to preserve the experience. However, none of these claims have been confirmed. The man's identity, the cabin's location, and the person who took the photos remain unknown. Since the images have only recently surfaced, more information may still appear. The first video was posted on June 10, 2026, while the second appeared on June 14, 2026. In the first recording, the sun was setting and darkness was quickly covering the woods as a woman explored the area alone. She often entered forests during the darker hours while searching for unknown creatures.
They're around me. Feel it. Oh my God. Hello? Shit.
That evening, she began following strange knocking sounds coming from the trees, which some people connect to possible Bigfoot activity. As she moved closer to where she believed the sounds had started, they suddenly seemed to come from behind her. She quickly turned and zoomed in with her camera. A large, dark figure could be seen standing upright within the shadows. It appeared extremely tall with long arms and eyes that seemed to reflect light. The figure remained nearly motionless for several moments. It then suddenly moved out from its hiding place and headed toward her. Frightened, she quickly left the area while checking whether it was following.
Okay. We're gonna keep walking. We're fine. Guys, I don't know if you saw that. I don't know which one it was.
4 days later, she returned to the same woods and streamed the investigation live. Early in the video, an entire tree began shaking as though something large was moving it. Despite this, she continued deeper into the forest. She noticed shadows, heard whistling, and detected movement around her. Soon afterward, another dark humanoid figure appeared crouched within the brush.
Dude, what is that? What is that?
She aimed her flashlight toward it, briefly exposing the shape. She then retreated, but movement continued behind her as she left. After turning around, she captured the figure on camera once more.
Is that it? Oh, now my lights want to work. What is that? Dude. Oh, God. Okay, please let me leave. I can't go live. I'm by myself. I'm freaking out here, man.
She finally left the woods believing she had gathered enough evidence, and that staying longer could place her in greater danger. This eerie Bigfoot video reportedly comes from Oklahoma. According to the caption, the footage shows a possible Bigfoot sprinting away after someone shouted toward it. A woman noticed an unidentified figure far in the distance and began recording.
Hey!
After she called out, a large dark shape suddenly moved across the open land at an extremely high speed. The figure appeared to run upright on two legs, but its movement looked much faster and smoother than that of a person. It crossed the rough terrain with little visible effort. Because the figure was recorded from far away, its physical details are difficult to identify. However, its speed, agility, upright posture, dark color, and apparent size have led some viewers to believe it could be Bigfoot. Zooming in and adding filters provides a slightly clearer view. The figure still appears large and upright, although the limited image quality prevents a definite identification. The footage was reportedly recorded many years ago, which may explain the poor camera quality. However, it only began circulating recently. Oklahoma has a long history of Bigfoot stories and is considered one of the more active areas for reported sightings in the southern United States. Its dense forests, rivers, valleys, swamps, and rugged hills have inspired stories of large unknown creatures for generations. Similar beings appeared in Native American traditions long before modern Bigfoot reports gained attention during the mid-1900s. Hunters, fishermen, campers, and rural residents later described large hairy figures moving through wooded areas, helping shape Oklahoma's modern Bigfoot legend. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.